Hello, good morning, friends. First of all, I welcome you all to this skill development program organized by Sri Havagi Swami Mahavidyalaya, Udgir, and this is a joint event organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell and Department of English. Friends, this is the third session that you are going to attend today. And in the previous feedback, I have seen that a number of participants requested me to conduct a session on soft skills with a priority. And that's why I came up over here with a topic called soft skills and introduction. Friends, as you know, liberalization, privatization and globalization has radically changed the world. In addition, we experienced the IT revolution also, and this information technology revolution has brought a considerable change, especially in the respect of automation of machines and the information and communication technology. Right now you can see the kind of communication that we are trying to establish with the help of an online platform. This is all provided by the IT revolution. And of course, this revolution and the process of globalization has created a huge demand for highly skilled professionals. And here, the demand for soft skills initiated. Of course, all of us are learned, but how many of us are skilled? Actually, there are two types of skills: soft skills and hard skills. If at all you go to a machine laboratory, do some hard work over there with the machines and acquire certain skills, that these are the hard skills. If you go to an automobile shop, learn how to repair a motorbike or a car, that is a hard skill. But today we are going to talk about soft skills, and I think this is very much in demand in the last 3 decades or so. So friends, for another 1 hour or so, you will be here in the domain of soft skills, and you will come to know a general introduction to soft skills as such. Now let us try to understand, what do you mean by soft skills as a term? If you refer to any standard dictionary, you will come across this kind of definition or this kind of explanation as provided. So, soft skills is a term which refers to personality traits, social graces, personal habits, language proficiency, friendliness, and optimism that mark people to varying degrees. See here, the kind of holistic definition provided over here will let you know the actual expansion of the concept of soft skills. See, different aspects are covered under one definition. Whenever you talk about soft skills, first of all, you directly relate certain skills with the personality traits of an individual. Every personality is a peculiar personality. Every personality, whether it is my personality or your personality or anybody's personality, you will find that that particular person has his own typical features. Some are exclusive, a few are common. So everybody has certain personality traits, has certain social graces while living our life in the society. We create our own identity, and of course social identity is based on certain things like your social prestige, your financial status, your social strata, because since our societies are very orthodox, so they have their own perception of an individual. Similarly, every individual has a good and a bad habits, because you will never find a person having only good habits or a person having only bad habits, whatever it may be. But an individual definitely has a few habits of his own. The another important aspect of soft skills is your language proficiency. Mind it well, we are living in a globalized village, right? Of course, we need to have the proficiency of English as a global language, because English has become a language for survival. But beyond that, what I personally think, your own regional language, your family language, or else your national language, whatever proficiency that you have, that is also an added advantage to your personality. Because language is the means of communication. It is a medium of communication. It is not necessary that everybody should get proper exposure to English only, or everybody should really learn Arabian, or everybody should really learn Chinese. Not essential. Whatever language that you have learned in your own society, called your mother tongue or social tongue or national tongue, whatever you call, but that has become the medium of communication with the rest of the world that you have. So language proficiency is also an important aspect of soft skills. Then I will switch over to the another couple of aspects in this regard, that is friendliness and your amicable nature. I personally feel that soft skills, when you try to correlate with all types of skills that you develop, your amicable nature, your friendly nature, your approach and understanding of the people around carries a lot of significance, carries a lot of meaning. Suppose you have acquired number of skills out of the huge list of plus 60 soft skills, and unfortunately your behavior is arrogant, your treatment is bad, you have the lack of friendliness and amicability, then all these skills that you acquire prove to be the waste, to be thrown into the dustbin. So what I personally feel, that this friendliness and amicable relationship or amicable approach of life is definitely giving a different touch to your personality. And here I would like to talk about the optimum that mark people to varying degrees. You know, we acquire so many skills. We acquire social skills, life skills, professional skills, okay. Altogether, what you call it soft skills in general. But when you acquire these skills are very crucial, especially in the professional point of view. Because when you talk about a word skill in general, right, already I defined you the difference between soft skill and hard skill. Now I am talking about skill in general. Actually, a skill is an ability to perform an activity in a competent manner, right? Whether it is a hard skill or a soft skill. How do you handle it? How do you perform to the best of your ability? How do you really put your effort to do certain activity? When you really be skilled in this regard, then only you can say that you are a skilled one. Now you see here, I have pointed out 3 different types of skills over here. What are these? Number 1, transferable skills or functional skills. Number 2, personal traits or personal attitudes. And number 3, knowledge or domain based skills. Whenever you try to segregate or whenever you try to make a division within the skills, apart from hard skills and soft skills, now my focus will be on soft skills only. Maybe some other time we will talk about hard skills. But today, I would like to talk about soft skills in general, because since the topic of our presentation is soft skills and introduction. And once I give you a comprehensive introduction of soft skills, and maybe next week onwards, we will have a special focus on each of the skills that we will take up for further discussions. But first of all, you try to understand the essential difference between soft skills and hard skills. Secondly, now I am talking about the 3 types of soft skills. So number 1, you have the skills that you can transfer, but these skills are your functional skills because they are very much required in your day-to-day life. Second, there are some personal traits and attitudes. My personal traits and attitudes are different than your personal traits and attitudes. There may be some sort of resemblance sometimes. There may be some sort of similarity sometimes. But there are a few attitudes and traits which are exclusively there in your personality and the other personalities as well. And the third and the most important aspect that you need to understand is knowledge based skills or domain based skills. The person working in a multinational corporation, especially providing BPO services, his domain knowledge and his skills are different than a person working in education system, or else a person working in some other government sector. Probably his knowledge or domain based skills are different than others, and vice versa. So this is how, whenever we talk in general about soft skills, the soft skills can be segregated under 3 heads. Number 1, functional skills. Number 2, personal attitudes or traits. And number 3, knowledge based or domain based skills. Now you switch over to the another categorization of soft skills, because gradually I am leading you to the role of soft skills that really play in our life. So here, when you talk about the soft skills, and that can be generally categorized under 2. Number 1, the social skills, and number 2, negotiation skills. Mind it well, Both are equally important. When you talk about the professional requirements, when you talk about the professional skills, these skills will be combined together, and depending on the requirement of your desk, of your job, of your organization, certain skills will be inculcated among you all. But here, for the better understanding of the topic soft skills, I have segregated them into two categories. Number one, social skills. Number two, negotiation skills. But mind it well, there is no hard line between the two. A couple of skills here and there can be shifted, no problem at all, right? So let us look into the first list that I provided called social skills. As far as social skills are concerned, your etiquettes and manners play a crucial role, because whatever etiquettes and manners that you have, they are generally developed in your personality right from the beginning of your family life, leading to the social life, leading to the academic exposure, leading to the kind of experiences that you have. And based on all that, your etiquettes, manners are really defined. Another important social skill is communication skill. Already I talked about it. Language is a medium of communication. Whether you speak in your mother tongue, in your national tongue, or else in the international or global language like English, whatever language that you use for communication, if you are successful in making listening, speaking, reading and writing in the respective language with certain competence and proficiency, then you can say that you have certain communication skills as well. Similarly, you need to have some interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are the skills that will let you know how to behave once you are there in the family, there in the society, there in the workplace. The way you deal with the people. There are a few people, those who kept on dominating the scenario and they don't allow others to even open their mouth. So this is certainly a negative factor of your personality. When you are, coming in contact with the people around, you should share from your end and let others also to share themselves, so that there will be a better interpersonal communication. Then you have the another important skill, which is also a social skill, motivational skill. Mind it well, language of course plays a crucial role in motivation, no doubt about it. Your domain knowledge also plays a crucial role in motivation. But the point is, whether somebody is really motivating you at home, somebody at society, somebody maybe at your workplace, somebody sometimes in the academic institution, wherever you are, you come across a number of people around, those who have charismatic personality, those who have something very crucial and identified in their personality, or something that they share with you all, that creates some sort of motivation and inspiration in your personality or in your mind. So such kind of skills are called motivational skills. Similarly, you have ethics and values, positive attitude, problem solving skills, creativity skills. Mind it well, all these skills are somewhat related to your identity as an individual, your identity as a person, and moreover, your concern with the rest of the people around. It may be the case of your members of the family, it may be the case of the society or the people in the society, or else your presence over there in your professional place or an academic institution. Wherever you stand, your ethics, your values, your principles, your personal positive attitudes, your dealing with the situation and problem solving skills, and your creativity. Maybe it is literary creativity or technical creativity or artistic creativity or else your professional creativity once you work into an organization and strive your hard to really do something extraordinary. So these are the factors which are related to the social skills. Now I will switch over to the negotiation skills, and some people call it very particularly the professional skills. But once you say professional skills, does it mean that these skills are not required in your personal life, in your social context? Not like that. So instead of calling them the professional skills, I would love to call it negotiation skills, because you as a personality need to negotiate yourself to take your stance in the respect of time management, in the respect of stress management, in the context of emotional development and emotional intelligence, your skill of decision making, your way of critical thinking, your sense of responsibility and accountability, your efforts to do some teamwork than doing independently alone, and your flexibility while working with the people around. So in general, you can label it as the negotiation skills. So all my dear, delegates of this event, I would like to remind you once that please put an effort to acquire as many skills as possible, because there may be a difference between certain social skills and negotiation skills, or as you sometimes call them, professional skills. But as a matter of fact, if at all you want to have an influential personality, you may be working in the academic sector or corporate sector or government sector or any other sector that you have, or you may have your own business or enterprise as well, whatever you do to win the bread for the day. But here what I personally feel, that once you are skilled, and most of the skills if you could really acquire and follow in your own life, automatically it will definitely create certain influence on the mind of the people around you. Now I would like to let you know what is the actual role of soft skills in one's life, whether it is a social life, personal life, academic life, or professional life, whatever it may be, right? Whether you remain at home, you remain there with the people in the society, or else you are there in the academic institution, if at all you are a student, or else you are an employee working for a multinational company or government sector or semi-government sector or whatever that you have to have certain skills called soft skills, because soft skills play a crucial role in the life of an individual. See, the first role that I would like to discuss with you all is soft skills enable an individual to put forward his ideas, thoughts, and notions effectively. Already I told you, communication skills is one of the important parts of soft skills. And when I refer to the word communication skills, I don't mean to say only speaking skills. Whenever I refer to communication skills, it includes listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And once you are proficient in all these 4 skills of communication, then only you can say that you are good at communication skills, right? So soft skills, in which you also acquire communication skills that actually enable an individual to put forward his ideas, thoughts, notions, and whatever that he wants to communicate. Now on this online platform, I am interacting with you all. I am expressing my views related to soft skills. I am expressing my ideas and thoughts and notions about soft skills. Right? So, of course, the kind of ability of speaking effectively that I could develop in the course of time, then only I could get such kind of very intellectual audience right in front of me. That is all possible because one of the skills of soft skills is speaking skill also. So once you acquire certain soft skills, especially listening, speaking, reading and writing, you will develop an ability of putting forward your ideas with the people around. Point number 2. Soft skills imbibe relationship building and human resource management skills. The most important aspect of soft skills is making you friendly, making you amicable, making you social, and asking you to develop your interpersonal relations. And that is all possible when you build a very constructive relationship with the people around. Whether it is a case in the family, in the society, or more prominently at your workplace, the way you create, the way you develop your relationship with the people, automatically it will also let you know how to manage the human resources available. If you are working at the bottom line, then probably you have to follow your leader, team leader or boss or manager. But if at all you are in the crucial position in the hierarchy, then you are expected to manage the human resources available. So if at all you could really effectively handle these situations, then only you will be labeled as a successful person by all means. And that is all possible because of the soft skills that will imbibe the relationship building and human resource management skill in an individual. Point number 3, soft skills encourage creativity, innovativeness and result-oriented action among the learners. Now, among all these participants of this event, there are many number of students, those who registered for this program. I am really thankful to them. But mind it well, soft skills can encourage you for creativity. It can encourage you for innovativeness, and moreover, it will make you result oriented as far as your performance is concerned. Because you put in your very sincere, hard efforts, and once you do it with commitment, automatically your performance will be a result oriented performance as well. Now you focus on the 4th one. This is mostly related to the employees, those who are working in different organizations in the world. There are a few participants, those who are attending this session from Arabian countries also. So soft skills enrich feeling that intellectual and practical growth of an employee is equal to the growth of organization. Mind it well. Once you acquire some of the skills, automatically it will enrich your feeling that the intellectual and practical growth of an employee automatically is equal to the growth of the organization, and vice versa. Because the growth of the organization is equal to the growth of the employee, and the growth of the employee is equal to the growth of the organization. So every organization should encourage every independent employee for its personal growth in the intellectual point of view, in the practical point of view, in the work point of view. Automatically the growth of an employee will be equivalent to the growth of the organization. As long as the employees will grow, parallelly the organization will grow. As long as the organization grows, parallelly the employees will grow. So once you acquire certain soft skills, automatically your commitment, dedication, involvement and result oriented action will improvise, and that improvisation in your performance is helpful for the development of your organization and the growth of your organization. So soft skills are necessary for every professional, no doubt about it. Number 5, soft skills enable an individual to be flexible in his approach and change his or her attitude and approach towards work and organization. See, this is the most important role that the soft skill is playing in our life. Once you acquire some of the soft skills, what actually happens? What is the internal change that is going to take place? The internal change that is going to take place is that is making you flexible. Flexible in your approach, flexible in your attitude, and flexible as far as your concerns of your organization are concerned. Because there are so many people, those who are those who are still sticking up to the mud and living into the old system of doing administration or management. They think that by sitting into the air conditioner cabin, they can control everything in the monopolic way. The days are gone. We need to change our attitude of working. Unless you are flexible, unless you are ready to change your own attitude in the view of the benefit of the institution or the organization, I think you will not be able to get the support and help of all the employees working in your organization. So if at all you are trained for soft skills, mind it well, you become you become capable to be flexible with the situation around, and of course it will be helping your institution to grow. Then the point number 6 is, or the role of soft skills is, soft skills make a learner open-minded and ready to welcome any change positively. You might have heard about open-minded people and closed-minded people. What do you mean by that? A closed-minded person will always have a predefined, preconceived notion of his own, and he would never come out of it. On the contrary, you have the open-minded person who does not have any prejudice, who does not have any preconceived notion, who does not have any predetermined idea. Whatever he is going to learn, whatever he is going to acquire, whatever he is going to adopt which is new, he open-mindedly accepts it and he becomes ready for the necessary expected change, and that is always helpful to the individual, helpful to the organization. Then you have another important role of soft skills. Soft skills enable an individual to handle the ever increasing expectation of the employer and the immediate superior. See, whether you are working in the private sector, semi-government sector or the government sector, you have a superior, you have a boss, you have your employer, and mind it well, employee will never be satisfied with the employee because he has ever increasing expectations from the employee. When the expectations are increasing day after day, automatically there is no question of satisfaction, because the employer wants that every employee should do the level best, sometimes beyond the limits of an individual. So the expectations are increased. So automatically satisfaction level will go down. So if at all you really want to convince your employer, your immediate superior, your boss, whosoever is supervising you, you need to have, or you have to have certain soft skills so that you can handle the situation better. Then soft skills encourage learners to adopt ethical ways with a long-term goal and create vote of trust for the organization and vote of trust for the self. Mind it well. Whenever you work as an employee, or it may be in the case of some students, those who are still learning, mind it well, you have to adopt certain principles of your own, certain values of your own, and you need to put in the ethical practice of your own so that you will be able to create your own identity as a man of oath of trust. Automatically the oath of trust will be created for you and for your work as well. So your transparency, your commitment, your dedication, okay, and your full-fledged involvement in the work will create your personality having a kind of oath of trust for you. And automatically, since you are the part and parcel of an organization, the organization will also create similar kind of reflection or similar kind of image in the market, because the employees have their ethical standards. Automatically that becomes the standard of the organization as well. And here the last point that I would like to discuss as a role of soft skills is, soft skills improve level of involvement, dedication and commitment of employees and encourage them the level best. The most important thing, if you want to succeed in your life, whether you are a student or an employee or an entrepreneur or a businessman, whatever you do, whatever role you are performing now, mind it well, your involvement, dedication and commitment, these three principles are very important for your success. In the case of a student, your involvement, dedication and commitment for academics is expected. If you are an employee, your involvement, dedication and commitment to the institution is required. And if at all you are an employer or else businessman or an entrepreneur, your involvement, dedication and commitment for the workplace is also expected. When you perform yourself the level best in all these arenas of life, mind it well, your identity as a whole, your skills will definitely be helpful to the development and growth of everybody. So these are the things that I really wanted to talk about, the role of soft skills in general. But now I am just leading the topic for further discussion with the very latest point that I would like to discuss. That is 21st century skills. Mind it well, whenever I talked about soft skills, that is a very routine term for all of us, and for the last 30 years or 40 years or so, soft skills have coined lot of importance in the long run. But now we are living in the third decade of the 21st century. 2 decades means almost 20-21 years already completed. Now we are in the third decade of the 21st century, and since the world is globalized, everybody is well connected with the entire world with internet or with the internet facility. The working style changed. The automation has brought a sea change in our life. Information and communication technology, that you call it ICT, it has brought a radical change all around. When the world around us is changed, don't you think that the requirement of the skills is also changed? And yes, it has changed in the course of time. Here I would like to talk about the specific 21st century skills that you are expected to acquire apart from soft skills. Okay, so let us try to understand now, what do you mean by 21st century skills? As far as the 21st century skills are concerned, the term 21st century skills refers to a broad set of skills, knowledge, work habits and character traits which are believed to be critically important to succeed in 21st century. And that's why I said there are skill sets, no doubt, maybe similar to the soft skills as well, but there are some peculiar skills, specific skills that can be separated from soft skills, but they are disparately required for all of you in order to improvise yourself, in order to make you competent enough to address the requirements of the 21st century skills or 21st century work. In this context, I would like to refer to John Dewey. He said, to be playful and serious at the same time is possible, and it defines the ideal mental condition. You know, the 21st century product, those who are born in 21st century and now listening to me over this virtual learning online platform, I would like to address you all in particular that the way this generation thinks is totally different than our generation. We are the products of the 20th century. Some of you are the product of the 21st century. The way you think is definitely different than the way we think. And here, there are a few identified 21st century skills that you need to acquire in the course of time. You have the skills like project-based work, research assignments, critical thinking, contextualized learning, computer technology, communication technology, and information technology, and finally you have problem solving skills. These are the skills which are also necessary apart from the soft skills that you will develop or acquire in the course of time. Now I will not talk in detail about these skills, because in the next week onwards, or from the next week onwards, we will have a session on each of the identified skill in detail, and automatically you will come to know about the know-how of all these skills in the course of time. Now let us talk in general about the contemporary content that we are processing in our system. The fundamental and the practical content relevant to the present time is necessary while acquiring the skills and knowledge. Emotional and social connections to academic skills and content is also necessary for every individual to be proficient enough in the days to come. Taking, when we are the teachers performing our role as a teacher there in the classroom, but it is our responsibility to take our students out into the real world. Sometimes bring the real world with the virtual concept into the classroom and vice versa. So unless these things are done, the contemporary content cannot be processed effectively for the whole world. So creating opportunities for the student to interact with each other and train the trainees in the real-time learning situations, unless we address all these things, I think providing training for soft skills, providing training for 21st century skills, or making our learners the better future professionals will be a difficult task. So the contemporary content, execution is necessary in my point of view whenever I talk about it. Suppose I do that. Okay, take it for granted that the contemporary, content, if at all it is processed and contemporary ways are adopted to train you all. What will be the outcome? The outcome will be your flexibility and adaptability will improve. Your initiative and self-direction will improve. Your social and cross-cultural understanding will improve. Your productivity and accountability will increase. And moreover, your leadership skills and responsibility will automatically enhance, and that will be as a whole helpful to the entire organization. And I can assure you that these skills like adaptability skills, flexibility skills, initiative and self-direction, social and cross-cultural communication, productivity and accountability, along with your leadership skills and responsibility, taking skills, all these things will improvise, and this will be the learning outcome if at all you acquire soft skills and 21st century skills in your life. Now I would like to let you know why the 21st century skills and soft skills are necessary for you. Because in the 21st century, the job scenario is changed, the demands are changed, and unless you have the ability to work and act independently, you will not get a job. Unless you have the ability to learn new skills, you won't get a job. Unless you have ability to acquire information, understand people around, solve the problems, whether they are personal problems, social problems, or professional problems. You will not be able to, prove yourself as a useful employee. Similarly, unless you have the ability to collaborate with the people and work in a team and maintain the interpersonal and cross-cultural communication with the people around and all over the world, I think your efforts will not be really helpful to the institution. So these are the changing demands of the 21st century. And if you want to really address and cope up with the situations and the demands of the day, I think you have to train yourself. And unless you train yourself, unless you acquire the 21st century skills and some of the soft skills that I would recommend by the end of this presentation, I think you will not be a suitable candidate for the 21st century jobs. What are the features of the 21st century jobs? As I talked about it, soft skills are required, 21st century skills are required. But as a matter of fact, what are the features? The collaboration and teamwork, autonomy and responsibility, less supervision with hierarchy, more personal risk and responsibility, pressure technique to improve performance. These are the features of the 21st century jobs. Unless you collaborate with the people and have teamwork, you will not be successful. You get full autonomy, but with a sense of responsibility. There will be the less supervision, but still there is a kind of hierarchy. You have to be more, you should be ready to take personal risk. It will add on to your personal responsibility. And the companies are using pressure techniques in order to improve your performance. So these are the 21st century skills demands and the features of the 21st century jobs. And if at all you really want to address and you want to be suitable to all these 21st century requirements of the jobs, and you need to really train yourself for soft skills and professional skills, mind it well, what I personally recommend is you have to adopt these skills with priority. One, the positive attitude. Second, time management. Third, stress management. Fourth, effective communication. Once again I repeat, when I say communication or communication skills, means listening, speaking, reading and writing, along with better exposure to grammar skills as well. Then you have cross-cultural awareness, cross-cultural communication. Sixth, you have the ethics and manners. And finally, your commitment and dedication is disparately required to make you a thorough professional. So all my dear participants, this is the third session that we are going through. And already I told you right in my introduction itself that this is a topic called soft skills and introduction. So I did not process any of the skills in detail. I have just created a general awareness among you all about the topic soft skills, about the requirements of the day, about the difference between the hard skills and soft skills. Similarly, I came to inform you about some of the very professional skills that you need to adopt, right? Beyond that, I tried to make you aware about the changing demand of the 21st century and what are the skills of 21st century also. So if you could really, improve yourself, if you could really get yourself trained for all these activities, I think you will not be a professional, a thorough professional in the days to come. So if at all you really want to improve yourself, if at all you really want to develop yourself, mind it well, acquiring and developing some of your skills is the disparate requirement. So with this happy note, I come to an end and I put a pause here. In the next presentation, once again I will come up with a new topic of course, based on your feedback and demands, I will come up with a new topic, and the next topic will definitely be one of the important skills from soft skills, and that will be a detailed discussion on it. Suppose I deal with positive attitude, I'll train you for positive attitude. If at all I deal with negotiation skills, I'll let you know in detail in the course of 1 hour for negotiation skills. And this way, I will try to provide you training online, and let us hope for the best. If at all you could really take the advantage of this facility, it will be helpful to you all, and wish you all the best, and thank you very much for attending this seminar. So immediately after the presentation, I will post the link for your feedback form. So please everybody fill that feedback form, submit it to me, because your feedback form is really very essential for me in order to address your requirements, in order to address your expectations from me as a resource person for this skill development program. Okay, so once again I express my gratitude to all of you. Thank you very much.